and gentlemen and programmers, we're going to do CodeAcademy 5, Lesson 5, Part 8. We're going to learn about the toString method. As usual, we're going to jump over here to CodeAcademy, and we're going to reset the workspace. Then we're going to read all the stuff in white, and you're going to write down an intelligent question about it. Read, 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 and write. Read and write, read and write. All right, so you read this and you wrote down an intelligent question about this. All right, let's jump back over to our spiel. All right, so you wrote down your intelligent question, and then, okay, so write this down. The toString is a special method that will change what prints when we print an object. And then answer this question. So write this down, but then don't write this down, just answer this. What are other special methods that we know about? Ones that have the same name and do the same thing for every class, right? So we've written a method, but this is kind of a special method where it does a special thing. And then what would be the purpose of such a method? We may actually have to do some stuff before we answer these last two questions. We're going to jump back to those last two questions. All right, let's complete step 1 in the exercise. All right, let's do this thing. Do it. All right, it says right here, and this is the part where I put on my glasses. Okay, in the main method, print the objects lemonade stand and cookie shop. Are these printouts helpful in understanding these objects? Well, let's find out. Okay, so we're going to go to the main method. Where's our main? Okay, so we're going to click right here. Here's the beginning of the main method. There's the end of the main method. We're going to do a little something right here. So we're going to say our trusty system.out.print line, and we're going to put in our semicolon before we forget. And what are we going to print? We're going to print out lemonade stand. So here's our object. Okay, and we're going to come down here and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to print out the cookie shop. Okay, but we're going to change this to cookie shop. So we're going to copy cookie shop, and we're going to paste it in there. Okay, now before I hit run, I want to look at my spiel again. Let's figure out what do we think is going to happen. Where is my spiel? I've lost my spiel. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when I do this system.out.print lemonade stand and system.out.print cookie shop, when I print an object, what do you think is going to print? All right, but let's kind of look at what we've done here. All right, so we have our main method where we say store lemonade equals new store. What have I created? I've created a store, and when I created it, I gave some parameters. Hey, this is going to be, the name of this is going to be lemonade stand, right? So I have, let me move this over here. So I have the product type is lemonade stand, okay, or lemonade. And then the price, if we look at our constructor, the product is lemonade and the initial price is going to be $3.75. Okay, so I've created an object that is a store. Okay, public store. Here's my constructor. So I've created a store. The product is lemonade and the price is $3.75. So I have this thing right here. This is my object. Okay, so we have our store class. Here is the instance of the store class, and we're going to do it again. So right here we said store cookie shop equals new store. Okay, so what's the name of this store? Cookie shop. What is the product? Oh, that should say, oops, I didn't do that. Let me hit pause here. Okay, so I've hit pause and I repaired that. Okay, so what's the product? Cookie. The product type is cookies. And what's the initial price? Well, when we created the initial price was $5. Okay, so we have our two objects that we've created, okay, or two instances of the store class. And so if I print that, if I say system.out.print lemonade stand, well, if I try to print this, what's going to print? If I try to print this whole guy, what's going to print? All right, well, let's go back and look at our code and see what happens. So if I hit run, it's going to print this. Okay, what is that? So basically what that is it's, well, let's jump back to my spiel. It's kind of odd, but basically this thing is a box in the RAM that's holding a store, and this thing's a box in the RAM that's holding a store. And it's basically just telling you, hey, here's in the computer's RAM, here's like the little location where this thing is existing, with its little electrons. That's basically what it's saying. So it's not super helpful. Okay, so let's jump back to this. What are other special methods that we know? Oh, no, we're not ready for that. I'm not sure when I'm going to answer those questions. Okay, so let's jump to the next thing. When I print the object, what printed, is this descriptive and helpful? So basically, it printed the location in the RAM. Is this descriptive? Not really. That doesn't help us at all. All right, let's do part 2. Let's do section 2 here. All right, it says create a toString method in the store class. The method signature should say it is public and that it will return a string. Okay, so we're going to make so here's our main method. We're going to click right here and we're going to make the toString method. Okay, so we're going to say, they said it's going to be public. It's going to return a string. So we say string with a capital. Okay, and then the name is toString. Okay, and don't forget our parentheses. Now this is a method definition. So we're going to, no, not square brace. We're going to just do our curly braces. Okay, it's going to return a string. It shouldn't take in any parameters. So the parameters are empty for now. For now, we're going to return store. Okay, so if I hit run, it's going to be mad. Why is it going to be mad? Because I said, hey, this is a command. Is this void or non-void? It's non-void. Is it a command or a question? It's a question. It's like, hey, what is this thing, right? That's the question is, what is this object here? And then, so I have to return something as string. The return type is string. So I'm going to say return. And again, it has to be string. So I put in my quotation marks and I'm going to put in store. And then I'm going to, whenever I give it a command, I end that command with a semicolon. Okay. So I'm going to hit run. And what does it do? Store. Oh. No. Oh, I see. I did this lesson earlier, so it's thinking it's wanting me to jump ahead. So that's what it should be doing for now. Okay, so now I'm saying, hey, print out the lemonade stand. It says it's a store. Hey, print out the cookie shop. It says it's a store. So we have something that's still not terribly helpful. Okay, so store isn't very helpful. What kind of store is it? Change the toString to return a string that describes the store object. Your string should look like this. Okay, so we're going to say, instead of store, we're going to say this store sells, and then grab the space after that. Okay, this store sells, and then we're going to add a plus. What does it sell? It sells, we want our instance variable. So here's our instance variables, price. Okay, and then we're going to do a plus, and then, oh no, we wanted product type. Oopsie. The store sells product type plus, and then we want the space at the beginning at a price of, and the space at the end. And then this is string, so we're going to put it in quotation marks at a price of, and then after the quotation mark, we're going to do a plus at a price of, and then we want our price, our instance variable called price. At price, and then we have a plus, and then with the quotation marks, and we want our period at the end. So yeah, just a period at the end. Okay, so now when we run it, it's going to say this store sells lemonade at a price of $3.75. This store sells cookies at a price of $5. Okay, so now basically what we've done is we've made this thing print something more useful. Okay, so now let's go back and answer those first questions again. Look at the printout again. Are they more helpful now? Yes, they are. Okay, so we hit run, and it should. Are they helpful? Yeah. So now we're ready to finish it. Now let's go back to our spiel. I think we're actually ready to answer those questions at this point. Let's go take a peek. Okay, so toString is a special method that will change what prints when we print. That will change what prints when we print an object. Okay, so when we originally printed the object, it was just kind of gobbledygook. It was just, ooh, the sun just peeked up. Did you guys see that? The sun just peeked up over the mountains there. I cannot get into a spot where I'm not blinded. I'm going to finish this thing. Do I look like an, oh my gosh, I look like an angel. I'm beautiful. Okay, so toString. Okay, so we asked it to print the object, and it printed the gobbledygook. Okay, so we created the toString method. It's a special method, and basically, if we print an object, we can direct it on what to print instead of just where the location on the RAM. We can print some stuff. And at first, we said, hey, we just printed store, which wasn't helpful, and then we printed some information about the. We just chose what we wanted to print about that object. Okay, and the next question are what are other special methods that we know about? Okay, well let's go to our code. If you see if you can figure out which of these are special methods that always do the same thing. Okay, well the answer is our constructor method is always operates the same way for every class. So it has the same name as the class and it builds the thing, right? So the constructor is a special method. Okay, so another special method that we know about now is the main method. Okay, every class you can make a main method. Well, you have to make a main method for every class, and it basically is what is the main thing that the class does. Okay, so now we have another special method called toString, and when you create the toString method, it takes over. If you print an object, it basically takes over what actually prints. So this would work without the toString method, but if you create the toString method, you can actually control what it prints. Okay. All right, let's jump back over here to the spiel. What would be a purpose of such a method? Like, so we did all that, and kind of what's the point of it? Why would we want to do that? And the point is that it's mostly for the programmer, so you can like print out special things about each of your objects or whatever. So you can write that into your code to where, I guess an example would be if you were jumping back to the bank account thing, you could print out like the name of the person who owns the bank account. You could print out their balance. You could print out whatever interesting things you wanted to do about it. Okay. All right. I think that might be it for this spiel. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys.